I want to highlight the importance of cleaning in between your teeth as well as brushing your teeth. And you might very well be wondering, why am I talking about interdental cleaning when I am the anti-aging dentist? Well, looking after your gum health really is an anti-aging treatment, because we now know that there is a huge link between gum health and general health, and particularly poor gum health and prolonged inflammation of the gums has an increased risk of certain systemic conditions such as stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes and heart disease, including an increased risk for heart attack. So looking after your gums really is looking after your general health. So what is the best way to clean in between your teeth? Well, this is really down to personal preference. There are so many different ways of cleaning in between your teeth, and it's a case of what works well for you. So it might be a little bit of trial and error to find what works for you, what you find easiest to use, and something that you'll stick to every day. So cleaning in between your teeth isn't just a case of removing bits of tough meat or fruit fibres when they get stuck. It's something that we should all be doing every single day. I recommend doing it at night, before you've brushed your teeth. So, because then anything that you have dislodged from between your teeth by using the incidental cleaning aids, you're then going to eliminate by brushing your teeth and spitting afterwards. Now, as I've mentioned before, you should not be rinsing with anything after you brush. Just brush and spit. You want a little bit of the fluoride left on your teeth for that to be taken up into the chemical structure and to help strengthen your teeth. So I'm going to be looking at 3 different types of cleaning in between your teeth, and these are my personal preferences, and for the vast majority of people, one of these will work well for you. So I'm going to start with floss, or in this case tape. Now, I prefer tape to floss. Tape is usually ribbon shaped, which is less traumatic to the gums. You often find that it's frays less, it gets stuck less, and it's much gentler to your gums. Now, this is the Oral-B satin tape. This is not a paid advertisement. This is just what I happen to have at hand at the moment, and it is a really, really nice tape. So when you are using something like dental tape or dental floss, get a long bit. Now, I use from my thumb to my elbow as an arbitrary measurement. You want a long piece like this. Now, holding it just like this, your fingers are going to slip. This is when it's going to get stuck. It's when it's going to fray, and it's just going to be generally not a very nice experience. Now, a good floss technique does take practice, and if you have lost some use of your hands due to arthritis or other conditions, this might not be the best option for you. So you get your kind of long bit of floss and you wrap it around your middle finger on both hands so that you've got about a couple of inches in between. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your thumb or your first fingers and you're going to direct that around your teeth. So, for example, going between my top middle front teeth, you slide it up and curve it around and then slide it down. Now, you can probably say I actually get underneath the gum a little bit because that top bit of your gum isn't actually attached. So that's your free gingiva, and you can get underneath there to dislodge any plaque that's built up. Now, you then go in the same gap and curve around the other way and then slide it down. So you don't need to be going forwards and backs, no sawing actions or anything like that. You just go up, you curve it around, you pull it down, and then you go up, curve it around and pull it down. Now, as you're going around your teeth, just move along a little bit so that you're using this whole length of floss. This is why you need a long bit. You need a long bit for the top, you need another bit for the bottom. It's exactly the same for the bottom. Wrap it around your middle fingers, nice and tight. Now, these teeth at the bottom do tend to be quite tight together. So, but you can see how easily that went down, and that's because this is really tight, and that is the key to successful flossing without having any problems. You want your floss tight, and these teeth are very, very tight next to each other, but you can still get down there and floss in between successfully. So this is tip number one: practice, 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 practice with flossing, with tape. That is the key to success. And once you get used to it, you'll be able to go around your mouth really quickly. But in the initial stages, it does take a little bit of practice. Okay, so what is number two? So that is these little incidental brushes. So these are kind of rubber, little filaments on there. Is it going to focus on that? Not really. These are disposable, so really you only get one use of these. They're quite handy to have if you're out and about and you want to clean in between your teeth, say. I never, obviously not when you're driving, but if, say for example, if you're parked in a car somewhere, you just happen to have these in the car, it's a handy thing to use. They're not reusable because these filaments, they're not very strong, but they're a good way of cleaning in between. So this is for a slightly bigger gap, then you're not really going to get much in between those front teeth at the bottom, but around the back teeth you can get in quite nicely and kind of give that a little wiggle. You want to be massaging the gums at the same time, so giving the gums a little bit of a massage is actually really good. You can dislodge a bit of plaque bacteria from underneath the gum by doing that. So yeah, these are Wisdom, I can't remember what they're called. They come in packs of quite a few, it'll last you for a while, but they are disposable. So that's something bearing in mind. Now the other thing that I'm going to talk about today is these little wire incidental brushes. So they look like tiny little bottle brushes. These are really good. They are more effective than the rubber ones. The rubber ones are okay, but these are much more effective. Obviously with these being like a Christmas tree shape, you can use them in multiple size spaces. These ones are more fixed, and often you find that you need more than one size to fit in all the gaps around your mouth. And it really is worth finding the right size for you, because you want it to fit snugly without feeling too tight, and you want it to contact both tooth surfaces on either side of the gap, so that you're maximising the amount of plaque removal. Excuse me. But you don't want it, because if it's too loose, it's not going to be doing anything. If it's too tight, it's going to be uncomfortable and not that beneficial. So you want to find the right size or sizes for you. So I think I'm red and blue, my two. Sometimes you need 3 or 4 different sizes depending on the gaps in between your teeth. Again, these are really, really good for getting in between the teeth. They come with a little lid. So these are, I can't remember what brand these ones are. Come with a little lid, and you can use the lid to extend the handle, which is very handy getting around the back. If you struggle with mobility, then you can use something like a silicone putty to make a bit more of a grip for you, to make it a bit easier to use. You can also ask your dentist or dental hygienist if they can help you to do that. There are other dental aids available for helping to get a better grip if you struggle with grip issues. But again, with these, you go in between the teeth. I'm not sure that's the right size there. Yeah, there you go. And you kind of want to rub one tooth surface and then the other, and just, yeah, get rid of any plaque and build up in between the teeth. These are reusable, so you can use them a few times. Just watch out for the little bristles starting to deteriorate, or if they're bending. So yeah, give it as you would do with your toothbrush. Just give them a good wash after you've used them, and then let them air dry before putting the lid on, just to prevent any bacteria from growing. Okay, so what other products are there? So that I haven't got any of them on me today, but you can get the little flossettes that are like a little heart shape with a bit of floss in between. I'm not a massive fan. If they work well for you, brilliant, but you still need to use the same technique when you go through the tooth spaces. As you go down toothpaste, curve it around one way and then up, same toothpaste, curve it around the other way and up, but you just kind of direct the floss that way. I don't generally find that the floss is tight enough on them, and again, it's floss rather than tape, so they can be a bit more traumatic. So I wouldn't necessarily say they are among my top 3. I've shown you my top 3. Other things that you can use are things like the water flosser. It's better than nothing, but I'm not there. Again, they're not my favourite product for cleaning in between the teeth. they can be useful, but better, like I say, better than doing nothing. But ideally you want to be using something a bit more substantial to clean in between your teeth. And as I say, once a day at night before you brush your teeth is the best time to do it. If you can't manage to do it, then try and find another time to do it during the day, but certainly doing it once a day is most beneficial. I hope that's helpful. Any questions, send them my way and I will do my best to answer them.